Hey guys, and welcome to the Mysteries of Selindor, episode 134. I am your GM Gagnor, and we're back for the
Oh,
fourth week in a row, which is
well, that
super
looks
neat.
funny.
What looks funny?
Sorry, go ahead. Nothing. I'm just looking prettier than normal.
Sorry, I'll fix that. I didn't even notice.
Looking
We've got
prettier
two
than
birds.
normal.
We've got two birds.
Oh,
My bad.
yeah, you sure did. Yep, that's not what Graham looks like. But anyways,
I'm not
City,
gray anymore. This is
since
great.
you're busy, do you want me to sort of recap what we're doing, or?
Give me just a sec. I just gotta get myself out from under Grim.
Something that nobody else has ever said before.
This is yeah. That's very very unfortunate.
Okay, we're good.
Larry's gonna
right.
kill me.
Sorry about that. So last time, boy, we did some more training for the Wardens of the Vortex, which is our little mercenary group that Mitnir started. And Oren told everybody about Caldera taking the Fire Farstone to join Anvaruna. And let's see what else. Rapsy was working on her garden. Grim got some magic items. We discussed the thing and we got pretty heated about what we were going to offer Anvaruna, and basically just decided, like, well, let's go in and offer them nothing and see what happens, and then we can work up from there.
You decided after much deliberation to wing it.
Pretty much. We've had 3 months to think about it, and our best strategy is to wing it.
You've had 3 months in real
plan-
time. To think
The
about
plan
it.
with
time
Miss
and
Grimm
in the
is
game.
just super enthused.
Well, you know, best compromise we can reach is to just see what happens. So if that's what we got, that's
Grimm's
what we
just
got.
like, I wash
But-
my hands of this.
But we did all agree at least that we aren't going to join them. So that's something that we at least all agreed on. So,
All right.
yeah.
So, as we close in on our last week
Wait!
in the cauldron. Okay.
Mitnir mentioned that we have a flower that does wishes, and maybe we could make Kieran sleep. So we started to look into that too. And we talked to Azuth, and Mistra's looking into it. And and I also visited
And you
Idrisma.
asked, and you asked him about the big crystal,
Yeah, and I
big
think we were still in the middle of that conversation.
and you said it may be ale, right? Is that what he said?
Something similar to AO.
Something big and
So
predating
he
things.
was suggesting that it was either one of the many dead gods that float through the astral sea, beyond the crystal spheres as they were once called, but basically the planetoids in which all material plane denizens reside. There are far out within the stars. Some of them are planets, some of them are suns and stars of other systems, and some of them are dead gods that are just floating around within the astral sea. He believes that this is potentially some sort of remnant of an old god that had been maybe fracturized in the same way that everything else has within Selindor. Because nobody seems to have any memory of any entity that was here before Selindor began.
I also asked him about Nyarlathotep, and he said Servant of the
Nyarlathotep.
Far Realm. I don't know. Servant of the Far Realm bridges the gap between mortals and the beyond. He's the soul of the Far Court. If there was anything to bind them together, it would be him. To be continued.
Oh, do we really stop in the middle of your talk with Idrisma?
Yeah.
Wow, I hate when that happens because like I can't just pick
now
it back
you don't
up.
remember. None of us remember what happened.
What the exact thing that we were saying was. This is what, if I'd have known that we stopped right in the middle, if I'd have thought about that, I would have rewatched the VOD from last week.
I forgot about it too.
Okay, so as you are in his you are in his realm. You can see like the arcing striking. I gotta darken myself a bit. It's too blinding. You see the arcing lights as each of his voices sort of collide with each other within the cerebrum that surrounds you. At one point, a part of him came out to fry some tea that you had created within his dream space to give him rest. And then the last thing that he told you was that he is their soul. So you've just received the information and haven't had a chance to truly respond to it yet. But you've received the information that he is calling them Narlethotep, or Pedo Talrain, as you all know him, is some sort of servant of the Far Court that is functionally the Far Court's soul.
So why would he... First of all, I'm trying to remember if we had other questions for Idrisma or around this that I'm forgetting. I don't know. I can't say that. Hang on. There are rules. I can't say things.
There are rules.
All right. Huh?
There are rules, but don't worry. There is a warning system if you start to say something that,
okay. So
that
Seti's
you
like,
aren't allowed to say. You will get a bit of a, actually, as you start to form this thought in your...
It feels a certain way that you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Seti's pacing, I think. Walking circles around Idrisma's brain. Okay. Interesting. So... Is there any reason or... Would he ever work against them? What would he get out of that?
He might. It's hard to say. The mind and body and heart and soul, right? Different meanings at times, different intents. For instance, your mind might know, no, something is wrong to do, but your heart might say different.
So to recap, because I only got about half of that. It's hard to say. He might work against them, but it would be like when you're torn because your mind is telling you one thing and your heart's saying another.
When logic is saying one thing and your heart is saying another.
We have not interacted with this entity much. I have heard whispers.
What do you know about Trunembra?
I will roll. Nothing.
It's so weird. I heard the name in relation to my dad, but he doesn't know anything either, and I think whoever brought that up was just batshit, probably.
Well, perhaps so.
It's a lot to take in. My brain's kind of overflowing right now.
Mine is intruded upon as well.
Sorry about that. I thank you for your time. If I have anything else to ask, I'll do it the normal way. And leave your mind in peace.
It was a pleasant visit to have another.
All around the lights, just
Another here as well. A new friend.
Oh, good. I'm still sorry for barging in on you. But I'll be seeing you around, I'm sure. Thank you for your
Good. Because
expertise.
I have many things to do.
And you can actually hear in the background, "Hello, it is time." And you hear the sound of an old acquaintance of yours echoing in the back of his mind. "We have many things to do." I don't exactly remember what he sounds like, but
Hi, Cinder.
you clearly hear the sounds of Cinder Sinchflame coming through the back of his mind.
He's just like a bad Russian accent.
Just say, hi, Cinder. All right, good luck with all your stuff. I'll get out now. Bye.
He's like, "What? What's on?" So, with that, you return to your normally occupied realm within the Cauldron of Purity. And I assume that was the dream spell, so you actually would be waking up the next morning.
Yes.
So, with that, we begin our last week within the Cauldron properly. You have 1 week to either continue working on things, to continue training the wardens of the vortex, or to do whatever it is you think might be useful in the preparations for your meeting with Inver. So I just do this based on Discord, but we'll start from the top. Orin, what are your plans for this week?
Oh boy. I think. Am I done my crafting stuff for now?
I think you have successfully made a couple of discs.
Yeah, finished the rings, and I think.
Not to mention the fact that you've got a new toy that follows you around wherever you go. I believe you finished making the amulet to keep him in.
Yeah, that was last week's thing.
Viramus, I guess, as you did name him after your father.
Yeah. I could always try and make some upgrades for him this week, but I don't know what to make yet. When you tell me the possibilities are endless, I can't think of anything.
I mean, think about it this way. The best way to do it would be to think about the fact that you have to organize them based on the potential that they can have within your skill, which is to make like an uncommon, an uncommon, a rare, a very rare, that kind of thing. So you only have the ability to make one of each rarity type. So when you think about it that way, like you're basically making something close to like a wondrous item with no like true super benefit, but maybe like a slight, effect that might apply, right? With the uncommon one, like maybe it's just something that improves an attack a little bit and makes his claws sharper or gives him a boost on something. Whereas something a little bit more powerful for like a rare might be, significantly more potent. Give him plus to the ability to hit, or increase vision. Maybe you could give him different types of vision, lenses within his eyes. There's all kinds of different augments you could try doing. I mean, I'm not setting a limit. You can put cannons on this sucker or jet rocket fuel, like whatever you think, Aquam technology or any other aspect of your creation that you have started to learn through your mechanical machinations that you think might be applicable or Orin would consider. It's all on the table.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe come back to me.
We'll come back to you then. Let's go with somebody who might have a simpler plan. What are you doing, Mitnir?
I guess finishing up training since we got a week left for them before they're on their own. And then I'm going to try one more time to see if I can make the story stick, like a fixture in the place instead of just my thing.
Carrying it around? Okay, sure.
Yeah. So I guess I'll try that again, somewhat close to the temple-ish, I guess. don't know
Sure.
exactly where
There
I'd go with it.
is like a small. I don't know if you remember the shape, but there were a few different sections around. It is set within a small jungle area. And you do know that there are sections of water within the temple itself up on the main platform, stairs leading up, and a place where you assembled statues to get
Yeah,
inside the temple.
That's up where that statue fight was.
Cool. So like basically you just sort of stick it right in the center where all these statues have been formed. And you see that there are a couple of these statues are mobile now. They have been automatized in a way to be defenders of the temple, and they are a strange combination of the several limbs that were laying about. So this area isn't really used for anything anymore, and you don't really ask anybody's permission because you're Mitnir. So go ahead and roll me a D100.
That's a 1.
With a 1. You slam it directly into the ground, and this time you close your eyes and breathe deep. And you open your eyes and you let go, and it remains standing.
Kind of flicks it, just like, eh? Huh?
You flick it, and as you do, it kind of like lurches just slightly and then just rights itself right back in that position. At the very bottom, you see small little roots have worked their way into the stone.
Just like, yes! And then goes about his day and goes, or week or whatever, and trains. That's all he's doing. That's his week.
Okay, go ahead and give me a... What's the best way to do this? I'm going to say that Cleary is not able to help you this week. And it's up to Seti. Are you going to be helping train this week? Or you have other things that you wanted to attend to?
I honestly don't know. I think I want to be... Like, can I do a little bit of training, but not like all the week? Like, it's like my morning exercise, couple hours with the troops.
I'll say this. If you're helping Mitnir and you're not really committing to it yourself, then he'll make the charisma check to how well they're trained with advantage. If you stay the whole week, then you'll make the charisma check with advantage.
I'm okay with him making it with advantage.
Okay.
Just straight charisma.
Well, it's going to be basically it's like a leadership check, but we don't really have that skill in there. So go ahead and make me, in this situation, any charisma-based skills like performance or persuasion, deception.
I'll do persuasion. And is Seti still giving us the D12
Yes.
thing? All right.
Intimidation can be used.
No, I'm being nice to them. I'm not. Be like, yeah, you want to defend this place. You want to do a good job.
Yeah. So let's do persuasion.
Oh boy.
Holy shit. That's a 26.
Plus a 6. So
a 26 plus a 6? A 32? I had no idea you had any persuasion. That's insane.
I have plus 7 on persuasion.
Holy shit, you rolled a natural 19.
Yeah.
Wow. So not only do you train them, but they respond to you, and they've become significantly more Spartan than they were before. They tend to react to any sort of orders, command, or suggestions to their training with an immediate response. You're not sure if it's the effect that Cleary had while he was here, yelling at them repeatedly to get them into position, or if it's just your own leadership as they've come to respect you over time. But they learn quickly, efficiently, and they seem to be making a pretty solid little group here. I believe last we checked they were level 4 with some elites at level 5.
Yes.
Or they're level 5 with some elites at level 6.
I think it was 4s with some elites at level 5.
With this, they will level up again. So we will go ahead and bring the group to level 5 as the average level with level 6 elites.
Good last week.
They're not going to take on,
Yeah.
a Kraken or anything. but they are definitely seem strong and capable enough at this point to run an evacuation themselves, and at least slow down any normal denizens. You could definitely see them going up against a gibbering mouther or two.
Yeah, just in case things happen while we're not here.
Okay. With that, I will also say that they have some plans in mind for certain events that you might have planned for. So if there's any that you want to like initiate, like there's like you guys have definitely run some drills within the town. Like we're doing basically a fire drill, but it's an evacuation drill. Everybody knows their sector they're supposed to go to, and how to get out. And you've even had a couple of the individuals speak with the people of Coralweave, so that they know how to intake the evacuees and then to shut the cauldron once the last man has sent word that they're out. Which, you know, is what it is. Like, they may or may not make it down to the last man, but they know when the last person comes through the gate, that one guy, it's his job once he's through. Or if he sends a message via his own death, they will seal the cauldron. So you've got a pretty good plan that has been established within the Wardens of the Vortex. And they seem to, everyone within the town seems grateful. And I would say that puts a point in the favor of you as defenders. Should you, by any chance, start going that direction in your seeking divinity and your ascension towards godhood, you have a few points in that column. Okay, so that's Mitnir. That's what you spend your week doing in preparation. Of course, the last day would be something we'll do as a group. So with that, Ropsy, is there anything in particular you would like to do this week?
Yes. I was currently trying to decide what.
If you need more time, I can move on to Grim.
I will say for sure she's gonna keep trying to do the lightning struck metal, and she's going to
Sure, see if you can get a couple more pieces of that.
Yeah.
Okay, for your week on lightning struck metal, go ahead and give me a D100 roll for each piece of metal that you have set up to a maximum of, I'll say 7.
Is that okay, Balaam?
Yeah.
Okay. Should I roll them separately or together?
Separate.
They should. I mean, as long as you can make out each individual roll, it doesn't matter. No. Yes.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes. I'm not seeing all these rolls, I don't think. But I saw several of them.
4 of them showed up?
Yeah.
Oh.
So do 3 more, I guess.
I'm seeing...
Maybe I did it before it was done. I just restarted it.
Yeah, you need to let them finish rolling. That's 3 successes so far. Well, no, yeah, one's within range. That's fine. I was doing it below 20.
Cool.
And a 100.
Ooh.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Wow. Okay, so out of the 7, you got 5 pieces of lightning struck metal, which is pretty legit, honestly.
And we had the one from last week, right?
And you had 1 from last week. So with that, you were able to accumulate a few pieces of lightning struck metal. In the process of doing so, something very strange happened to one of these pieces of metal.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be slightly brighter than the other pieces and actually seems to emit an electrical charge all of its own.
Okay.
It just seems like it could be a useful crafting material, maybe.
Okay.
It seems to have lightning within it. Not to have just been struck by it and reformed with a bit of essence, but actual lightning has trapped within the rod. Okay. That's certainly something that you would have done each day, just brought out a couple of rods, and this is what you've accomplished during your week of collecting. I would say that there's still some extra stuff that you could have done during this time. Is there anything else you want to do with your week?
It was still like going out and scavenging for things, but you are going to need to come back to me for that specific part.
Cool beans. Grim, what you got going on this week?
Well, if I'm gonna have one thing I want to do with I want to try and contact Zookmoy to talk to her, but also if Gropsy is mostly collecting and she's not using her time dial cauldron, I would like to use the lightning struck pieces of metal that I have, and if she's willing to let me use the piece that she got last week, I can go ahead and just try and batch cook those.
Yeah, sure.
And just use those to try and
as you know the rules on how it's done. So as long as it's something that you can do within the time with the time dial cauldron, just go ahead and make some rolls for me using if it's alchemy or if it's herbalism, just depending.
Yeah, it's alchemy.
I think there should both still one's intelligence, one's wisdom.
Yeah. Yep, it's intelligence.
So just go ahead and make those proficiency D20 and your intelligence.
Yeah,
and we'll just
I'm still running foresight every day.
For batch cook, your level of success should be the DC associated with making them. If there's a DC, if there isn't a DC associated with making them, then I'll have a set DC, which I already have in mind.
DC is.
I know batch cooking is different.
15.
Yeah, so DC 15 is your baseline for successfully making it. If you roll below that number, all ingredients are lost. If you roll above a 20, then not only would you have succeeded, but there's a chance that you could produce more than you intended.
So 14 plus 7 is 21.
21. So I will say with this, you're able to scrounge enough together with the time dial cauldron and a good use of materials to get an extra vial out of your batch.
So 4 plus 1 is 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that would take, normally it's 8 hours.
And don't forget to spend the money that it costs for the ingredients.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, which is 500. So
it'd be like 2,000 if it's 500 a piece.
Yeah, so it cost another 200 of my platinum.
Yeah.
So 916, and that would be what, 8 hours. I mean, if it's 8 working.
Theoretically, actually, it would be using Aquam if you were doing it here. So this would typically dip into your Aquam supplies before it would take out of your platinum supplies.
So do you want to just take it out of our
but there's people that will accept it. Will accept the trade. Like you just like there might be.
I mean, if we want to just pull it out of our massive store of Aquam, that's fine too. I mean,
yeah. So within the cauldron, it's considered. Yeah, it would be 2,000 Aquam, right? Because it's considered basically 1 gold for Aquam within the cauldron.
Okay. So then we got 5 potions of invulnerability, and so that'll be 4 days' work.
I do plan on doing Aquam collecting again this week. So.
And then on one of my nights, or I guess on each of my nights until I manage to contact her, I want to try and contact Zookmoy through my inner realm.
Cool. Let's go ahead. I don't really want to make you roll for each one, but I also don't want it to be. I'll just go ahead and say roll with advantage since you're attempting it every night.
Yeah. I mean, he was gonna try and make sure he had foresight or inspiration when he did it anyway.
Do your in theory, I guess you could do a religion check or you could do Arcana. Either of those would be acceptable.
Religion and Arcana. Either way, it's +9.
Yeah.
Just two better than my +7 wisdom. So that's a 28. So
With your 28, yeah, I will say that one of the nights, probably earlier on in the week, you attempt to connect to Zugtamoy, and you find yourself once again within your own inner realm. The sort of spiral of the ground, the shifting pieces moving all about of mushrooms that seem to have grown certain aspects of your my words, I forgot the word that it is for fungus. They're mycopic or anyways.
iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they seem to have gotten a bit of that essence with the certain mushroom fractures that you have taken in, seem to be affecting the other mushrooms within your inner realm to make a very strange place with waving tendrils of pink and eyeballs on some of them, and others that just seem to be breathing all their own. So the whole place seems to be quite alive. Further from your realm, looking out upon the almost endless swamp of what appears to be some sort of strange mercurial liquid. In the distance, you see another island seems to approach you, a large, vast continent covered in more mushrooms, and a path connects to the twist. As it twists out, it seems to unfurl towards this landmass, and you have access to what seems to be the lands of Zugtamoy.
I will walk across the mushroom path.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Trying to give you an image would be that hill from Nightmare Before Christmas that just unfolds to let him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does that. It just like unfolds and reaches out towards our continent and connects. As you step on and find yourself moving through the realms of Zugtamoy, which I forgot the name of because my brain is slow. There you go.
Her portion of Shedikwa.
There is a very short amount of time before you hear, "Hello there, my champion. Once again, walking through my gardens. The circle of spores greets you, my friend."
Hello, my lady. Grim, Grim is ready to complete the set, I think.
Complete the set?
Yes, pretty soon, well, there's a good chance Grim's going to have to give this lady away.
Are you suggesting,
obviously,
champion, that you wish to become even more mine?
I mean, would you rather me fill it up with something that's not yours?
Of course not. I'm intrigued. Well, it could take me a small bit of time to prepare something perfect.
It's up to you. Yeah. So, as soon as you can, no rush. But
I will move about my realm and see if I can acquire a fracture from a version of myself I find quite intriguing.
the Green Lady will probably be gone here in the next, in normal time, but 5-6 hours.
Not much
So
time
we'll
at all
see.
then. Well, when you speak of normal time, give me 3 days.
Great. So yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I can't say for sure that she'll be gone, but there's a good chance she'll be gone. So Grim will probably, he'll have a little hole in himself that will need to be filled, preferably with another mushroom.
I am more than happy to fill it, child.
You see, like, this is like the face appearing in the stalks of the tree-like mushrooms that fill this space. Seem to all be grinning. It's not just one version of her, but several that are all grinning maniacally, extra wide smile. She goes,
"Oh, I look forward to your transformation, Grim.
Yes, I will miss
finally something of the sovereign spore that I wish you to be."
Yeah, I would miss the extra tentacles and what they can do, but you can only be part of, well, the creator of the universe for so long before you got to get rid of it, I guess, so.
I'm not sure what you speak of, but I'll take your word for it.
Yes, mushrooms are much more fun than outer gods.
Indeed they are. Well, as it is, child, apparently I've much to do.
Yes, I look forward to, becoming champion of the biz, maybe having to kill some other aspirants if I need to, all of that. So
Now that you're taking in even more, I do think I will have an easier time convincing them. So, kudos.
great. Okay. Hopefully I see you in 3 days.
Goodbye.
And as she
Right.
sort of
It's
waves
like-
to you with her figure, you see like a sort of like round swells and begins to like push you back. Sort of just like drags you, like the ground, instead of being solid earth, seems to just unfold and roll and begin pushing you out back into the waters that resettle into your own inner realm. And when you wake up, there you have it. Another
You
day.
never know.
I'm not sure how much time your potion making would have cost you at this point.
I mean, it would have been, because it's 8 hours per potion, right? Because it's 80 hours normally. If it's 1/10, then it's 8 hours per potion. So that would have been.
Okay.
I mean, if each one's
so,
a working day, right? Then
yeah, that more or less cover.
it would have been 4
half your
days,
time.
right?
Roughly
Yeah.
half your time. So is there anything
Yeah,
else that
so-
you can think of right now that you'd be able to do to fill that time?
I mean, it depends on if we have other. I don't know what other reagents we've got, because those are going to be useful. Those off my bad.
If you need some time to think about it, we can always move on and come back to you.
Yeah, so I don't know if we've got any. If we have the ingredients, I can make the.
I'll tell you
maximum
this.
power.
If they're common ingredients that can be found in the region that you're in, you might be able to purchase them. If they're uncommon ingredient, or if they're common, you definitely can if they're within your region. If they're uncommon or above, then it might be a little bit more difficult, but you can always roll for it as well. But that would just have a monetary cost. Not to mention, Propsy is still looking for some when she gets back to us on what she's looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Acid dew, or where do I just had it?
Olasubaleaf isn't in this region, and it's uncommon.
Yeah.
And then she's got the Dream Lily. So it's Olasuba that's probably the. I don't know that maximum power.
Pixie's parasol is the other thing. Acid
Pixie's
dew.
parasol.
I have Pixie Parasol.
Oh, okay. How much do you have?
Yeah.
I have 5 Pixie Parasol.
Perfect.
Yeah,
What
so
did
if you
need it
guys,
for?
Do I need parasols at all?
I was gonna use them for the midnight oil.
Midnight Oil, the one that lets you study all night.
Mm-hmm. Or make potions.
it would increase the amount of potion making time you guys would have for the end.
Sure. Mana, Midnight Oil. Yeah. Potion of Diminution, if you need that. No. But I have 5 of them, yeah.
Okay.
So I could probably keep, maybe if I keep one to plant and keep in my garden just to cultivate more.
Mm.
All right. Well, you guys can try to figure out exactly what potions you want to make. Once you figure out what that is, just start making the rolls. I'll keep an eye on the chat.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Seti, what do you want to do this week?
Okay, so first things first, I want to have a little chat with Cleary because he's had a couple of weeks to think about it, I think. And I just want to check in and, we'll find a nice quiet moment where we're snuggling and feeling really connected or whatever. And I'll just be like, have you given any more thought to my suggestion to talk to Selindor?
I have thought and thought and thought, and I still haven't come to a real conclusion. It's something I've thought about for centuries, and adding to the awkwardness of potentially returning to speak with her while with a new love on my arm, does make things even more anxiety-inducing.
What about a letter? Could you write her a letter? Maybe it would help crystallize your thoughts.
Could, I suppose. I do question how easy it would be to get a letter to her, as even I have sometimes a bit of trouble navigating into exactly which iteration she would even remember me. I'm not sure if there are different versions of me that have love for the moon, or if I've even important or consistent enough in the fabric of the weave to even exist on more realms than the one I hail from. I know in the one I was in, I nearly became a god, but it doesn't mean elsewhere I wasn't just left and forgotten to time.
Well, not to get more people involved in this, but I bet my dad could point you in the right direction or get word to her in the right motive.
Yes, I thought about that. But it did seem strange to send a message via your father. I haven't actually discussed with him the fact that we are involved.
I mean, he knows.
He knows?
Yeah, I mean, I forget what he said, but he was like, I don't remember what he said at all, but it was like he knows about us, and then I just blurted, yeah, I want to have his babies.
Sure, that's good. That's fine. I'll sleep totally fine tonight. I mean, now that I know, he'll probably know that I know what he knows, and then God knows what he'll do to me.
I mean, look, it's very difficult to hide anything from him because he's everywhere all the time, but, it's...
Hopefully his dispassion for anything will be a boon to us.
Yeah, I was like, what does he care? We're just like, he's way up there, and we're way down here, these barely comprehensible beings doing barely comprehensible things that he's like, I don't care, I don't have time for this, whatever.
Right. Well, I would consider writing a letter to Selindor. I'm more confident if it were in the later waning stages that she would receive it well. Just after the new moon, she can be volatile. And jealousy is one of her many attributes at such a time.
Right, yep, definitely don't want to make her jealous.
Give me some time, and I will try to write something, but as it were, I still had some projects that I was trying to finish, and I certainly won't be coming to a decision or changing my nature in the means of, saying goodbye to Balhadrin for the sake of Rakshas until I've finished my projects. Just in case that affects my ability to sculpt light.
Sure. Of course. I don't want to rush you. I just like to know what you're thinking.
Good. Well, as it were.
Time to work?
Yes.
Okay, good luck. I give him a kiss and the bardic inspiration.
He is inspired and gets back to work.
Okay. Does the group, because has it been a week since we played or 2 weeks? I don't even remember anymore. It's been some time for like the players and stuff. Do we want to revisit our plans for opening our negotiations? Do we have anything new to add? Are we good? Basically, I figure we go in and we say, look, we've all agreed we don't want to join. We've all agreed we can be more useful with our options open. As for the rest of it, we couldn't come to a consensus. So, some things are going to have to be handled on an individual basis, such as Grimm's Star Mother piece. That is his to do with what he wants. That is not ours to, So, you can talk about that and say what you need to say about that. And then we can kind of go from there about see what their reaction is to things.
Yep. This is what the Grim will do.
But we want to ask that whatever the outcome is, that we are all still protected from them, that they don't interfere with us and we don't interfere with them. Until such a time as, we have to. Right? Are those all things we agree on?
Yes.
I mean,
I think
Nitnir,
we
I
should
know,
make
I see
sure.
your face. You want to punch people and headbutt them and pound them into the dirt. I know.
He just nods along with all of that, like,
We'll probably do that someday eventually, but that's not going to be the first thing we do.
We should make sure that their members are party to the contract.
Their members are what?
That their members are party to the contract.
Yes. Yes. All their members. And we should say past and, or, present and future.
Well, we can't do that. We know. We've determined that. So that won't work.
Right.
But at least the current members will have to.
Yeah. So these conversations do not take a lot of your time, Seti.
No, they don't.
They're not very long conversations. 7 days of just this conversation.
I still would like to do, because that can all happen on the last day on your guys' way out of the cauldron, if that's what you want to do. But I would like to know what you spend
I'm just
your week
making
doing.
sure I have enough time for all that. So
you did spend some of your time helping Mitnir.
Yeah, I'd say like half my time.
So. I'd still say that you've got enough time to get some stuff done. If there's anything in particular, if you need more time to think, I can go check back in with Orin and then come back to you.
Oh, well, okay. Actually, I'm going to approach Orin.
Uh-oh.
Hey, bud. And what you been working on? What's going on? Like, do you have projects? Are you busy?
I mean, I'm a little busy, but I could probably make time. What do you need?
I want to make something for Cleary, but I'm not good at making things unless they're songs, and I've already written him like 24 songs, so I think he might be a little tired of them at this point. I was wondering if maybe we could make him like a ring or something that's, I don't know, something to remind him. I'm thinking of like enchanting it somehow, but I don't know what I want it to do. I just want him to feel like confident and supported and loved when he is wearing it. A little, like, reminder that he's great.
Okay, so just like a plain ring, no magical effects or anything.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I can write music, but this kind of stuff is not.
I'll tell you one thing. Cleary does have an open attunement slot.
So I'm kind of at a loss for like what's the specific. I want it to be awesome. I want it to do useful things, as you know. But I don't know what are we capable of? What's a good? What would be fitting for a wizard who has like everything? I was thinking about making it out of, or like including like a little band of like moonstone in it because he uses it a lot, but then it's also like that's the thing from his ex, so maybe that's not the best. But he does use it a lot.
I mean, I do have moonstone.
Maybe like a little tiny sliver of moonstone around the band, and then maybe something else that's I don't know. He's blue right now, so blue is a good color for him.
What
Maybe
about
like
something that represents you?
What color am I? What stone am I? I mean, I have the amethyst in my skin, but I don't know. Moonstone and amethyst?
A little blue and purple?
Moonstone is kind of white, like a pale gray with a bit of.
I can see that. Maybe with like a black or gold band.
Let's see.
He looks good in gold.
I mean, blue and gold look pretty good together, I think.
Yeah, so
I mean,
gold band.
Mithril and Magisteel.
Magisteel is sort of a pale goldish color. It's like little hints of like. It's I wouldn't say green, but like a bit of like a. I don't know. Less yellow toned gold.
That could be good. Magisteel's pretty good.
It's good magic conductor.
Especially if you want to add some sort of magical effect to this.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we've got materials down. Now I just got to figure out what do we want it to do. I mean, do you even have time? I mean, this is a silly little side project, but you know, and it doesn't have to happen right away. I just wanted to see. Because he gives me stuff all the time. So I want to give him something.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to work on Veramas. Can't even get the name right. But, you know, I could fit this in. I mean, I could make this super fast if we're not adding any magical stuff to it, but if we want to have it do
It just
something.
magically just says, "Hello, this is Seti, just letting you know that I love you."
Yeah, and then we put the magic mouth on it, where he can, like, if he's feeling lonely, he can just rub it and it'll say positive affirmations at him.
Ring of positive affirmation.
I'm also ring of affirmation. Well, I'm like, okay, you made the thing for you and Caldera, and I'm like, well, what if, because I can just wander into his dreams anytime I want, but what if we made something for him that he could come visit me if he wanted? So that's an option.
Yeah, that would take longer, but it's doable.
I don't know. I just want it to be perfect, and now there's a lot of pressure, and now I can't think of anything that is perfect. But I think the materials are perfect. I think
I will say,
Ring of
if you want to
Affirmation is
spend
good.
your time helping him, then you guys can probably accelerate the process. If there's something you wanted to do to it that was like a minor enchantment.
I mean, I would definitely help as much as possible. I don't want it to just be like, oh, Oren made this for you.
I mean, it's you commissioned it, so you know it's your creation. Yeah. I just made it. That's all.
Yeah. I'm also like looking through my spells. Like, what could I potentially contribute here? We can come back to this.
Okay. Well, as you guys begin planning this ring, did you guys figure out what potions you wanted to be working on during this time? Obviously, Ropsy, you were working on the
midnight
potions
oil.
of midnight oil. So could you go ahead and give me a roll for the this would be your wisdom plus wisdom plus proficiency with a d20. Because I think or unless midnight oil is alchemy.
Do I get to use the thingy for the spell for?
Well, you still add your proficiency bonus.
Because that's a 13. But if I'm allowed
midnight oil is uncommon, so a 13 actually succeeds.
So 13 succeeds. So you don't get any extra, but you do succeed in making it.
Okay. So that's 4 with the 4 that Grim gave me. And I will give 2 back to Grim if he wants.
And then don't forget to spend the extra amount of gold that uncommon potions are, which I think was like maybe 100?
A piece, yeah, 100.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Sorry.
What?
All right.
I can make some health potions too.
Oh, I was going to do superior health potions, but if you can... Doesn't matter who does it, honestly.
Well, how many amanitas do you have?
That's a good question.
I guess we could buy them too.
Here's the thing. I think I planted those a long time ago because those were like the only thing I had that could grow in my garden.
I mean, yeah, so I would say if you were properly tending to your garden over the past 3 or 4 months, then you probably have a decent amount having grown. Sure. Yeah. probably have a couple of those.
Well, the superior take 3 each.
So I would say, how many did you have initially before you started planting them? Propagating them in this situation?
I don't remember. Probably like 5 or 10.
All right. So go ahead and give me a nature check. Nature check.
Oh, come on. Oh, it's a 5.
So you are very good at plants and medicines and herbs, but you're not very good at mushrooms. And I don't think that you bothered asking Grim how to take care of these amanita mushrooms. And you kind of just missed a step. So I will say that you were expecting maybe they just need longer to grow. But what you find is that they're just not growing under the conditions that you set forth for them.
Do we want to roll and see how mine were doing and mine downstairs?
you still have 10, however, amanita mushrooms. They're just not. You haven't propagated more.
Do we want to roll to see how mine have propagated downstairs in my mushroom garden?
How many did you start out with, and how many were you?
I had my 2 bioluminescent red amanitas and my 3 red amanitas.
Oh, okay, so go ahead and make me.
I'm just assuming that I planted them. I don't know how long it takes them to grow, but he's got his little squishy mushroom thing down there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I have like 20 vague spores, which I'm not going to plant as the normal ones, and then I have my pixie parasols and then those amanitas and my stinkhorns. So I can roll that. I'm not going to roll a advantage because that I wouldn't have had we call it back then. What's that spell? Foresight.
Sure.
Well, that's a 14 at least.
With a 14, yeah. So you do start to get them to grow. A lot of them haven't gone to maturity yet, but you were able to get 3 harvests total. 1 harvest for your bioluminescent mushrooms, and then 2 harvests for the red amanitas. So go ahead using the harvest for the stocks that you would use in the rolls. There should be a section for red amanitas.
Okay, I'll click that. Where you at, red amanita?
Maybe I'll find it before you do. We'll see. I'm not doing it the smart way.
Slightly unrelated question.
Red amanita. There we go.
Red amanita. So 2d4.
2d4.
Twice. So it'd be 44. For the red amanitas. Yeah.
And so 2d4 for the bio. And
yeah, and then 44 for the reds.
So 4 for those babies and 6 for those babies. So not a whole lot, but a couple.
10. That's double the amount that you guys had before.
So 6 and 9 total. Right. So I can make some. I can make a few.
Have you tried making anything with the bioluminescent?
Nope.
Mushrooms yet?
I haven't played with them.
Okay.
We could try.
Totally up to you. You do still probably have a bit of time left. You certainly have time to do another big potion spree. But there is a limit to the amount that the time dial cauldron can be used.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't want to. Whereas her midnight oil potions probably only would have taken a day because they're a less advanced rarity. And even if she was batch cooking, they shouldn't have taken that long for 4.
Yeah, because they're 2.4 hours or whatever. Each with hers. So.
Yeah, so she was able to do that in 1 work day, and then give you that for the other half of the day to use the cauldron. So it's pretty easy for that.
Okay, so I can try and make 1 potion with my.
All right. Well, you think on that and get back to me.
Can I ask my question?
Yes. Sure.
What do you have me roll usually for going to harvest things? Is that also nature? You're gonna go scavenge.
That is your herbalism kit, which is wisdom plus proficiency. So it should be about the same as nature if you're proficient in nature.
No.
Nature is a knowledge check.
My nature's a fucking 2, and every time you have me roll it, I get spite angry about it. And I was
But this was not you harvesting. This was you attempting to propagate them.
I know. This is just me thinking because I still haven't decided on my ASI for the 16th level, and I was going to angrily put it all on nature. And I might just do that because when I have to roll it
nature's intelligence based because it's a knowledge. It's a knowledge skill.
In nature.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that or just dump 2 ASI points in intelligence so I can feel less dumb. I don't know. Decisions are hard.
You're also not proficient in it. You could also,
+2 in intelligence will make your nature a 3. Expertise in it would make it a 12.
Mm-hmm.
which would go up to a 14 when you get +6 proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah, Angikita thinks that's the way to make me not Angikita.
Yep.
Methinks. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should put some points in that intelligence. Methinks.
How
I can
what?
put the.
How dare you?
I'm kidding.
I'll try and make a potion of superior healing though
We'll
with
just find
with
her
the
like a
bios,
headband of intellect or something.
with
This
my
is
biolumos.
He don't know man no more.
Me, Angie, at Gagnor.
Just your choice of the way you were talking.
Brepsy's taken all of her points out of intelligence and putting them into strength.
She's just gonna wallop.
Strength of him beat his ass, yeah.
Bash Gagnor.
No, you've got a shillelagh. You use your wisdom and still hit me with the stick. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that other half a day to just try and make or whatever, like a superior healing potion out of the bioluminescent Humanitas.
The superior.
I mean, I was planning to batch cook superior healing potions.
Oh, okay.
Would it be bad to throw the fancy one in with the rest of them?
We probably do. We don't know what they do, so we probably want to do those separately. But I don't have to do them right now either.
I just wanted to let you know.
No, I could do it separately. Yeah, I could do it at a different time. You can batch cook.
Entirely up to you guys. That should, if she batch cooks if she batch cooks the superior healing potions, check your time. That might take up most of what's left of the week for the cauldron.
It will, because they're gonna be 8 hours per.
Yeah. So depending on how many you're making, that should take up the rest of the cauldron's time.
Yeah, I'm making many, if possible, if I can buy those. I assume I can't because those are common.
Yeah, you should.
Well, we have enough. I mean, we have between the two of us.
You've
got 10,
you've got enough red
and I've got
mushrooms
9
to get crafting. Like,
there's okay. I wanted to make it
come down to how much gold you have mostly. Because each one's going to cost, like 500 gold or something?
Or 500. 500 gold or 500, what do you call it?
500 gold minus the price of amanita mushrooms, which you guys already have.
Or 500, what do you call it? Apple.
So, just bear that in mind. You can't make like 80.
I'm making 80.
We can make 4 or something, right? Like,
figure out how many that you think you can make, or you're gonna plan on making, and then we'll get back to you on that. Let you do your roll. Whenever you're ready, you can just throw the roll in. It's just gonna be your wisdom plus proficiency with a d20. Meanwhile, Oren, have you made progress on what you're doing this week? Obviously, you've been commissioned to create a ring,
or a set of rings, not
or a set of rings.
I also wanted to upgrade Veramus to make his attacks magical.
Okay, sure.
Because I don't think they are.
So just making his attacks magical, is that all you want to do, is just do something to maybe replace the claws with a better material and upgrade them so that they, or enchant them in such a way that they could then...
Yeah, I'm trying to just do like a common or uncommon. Fill that little cheap slot.
I would say you could use your common to do that, and it would just make the attacks magical. If you use your common. If you use your uncommon, they would make the attacks magical and augment their bonus.
Also, does it have multi-attack? Doesn't say that, but it has a bite and a claw attack. So I don't know if you can only do one of those.
Let me double check real quick.
Also, doesn't count as a waste.
Yeah, I might do the uncommon so I can make them magical and get a little more bonus to the plus hit and damage potentially.
I'll tell you what, if you make them uncommon, I will give you multi-attack. He makes 1 bite and 1 claw attack. And then you could also roll to see how well you make them. could give it additional benefits while keeping it as uncommon. If you wanted to do, you just add Swift Claws to it, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Cool. All right, so that shouldn't take you very long during your time. I'll say you definitely have time to work on the ring and do that. Do you want to get Mitnir to breathe on it?
If he's got time.
Do I have time?
Do you have time?
Oh.
I think you have time.
I was like, I
It's
guess
just
I have
like
time.
takes you like 2 seconds out of your day.
All right. Go ahead and make me a tinker check.
66. So
You roll a 66, so no effect from the breath.
It's only a 17.
With only a 17, you do manage to make them. They're going to give you. We'll go ahead and edit. Leave me a note. I'll edit Veramis' sheet during the break. Just remind me when we go to break here in about 10 minutes. Yep. And I'll go in there and I'll change his stuff. But that should cover his uncommon.
Okay.
Okay.
I think a common one could just be like a saddle or something silly.
I mean, just because the uncommon one's giving him is attacks are magical now and giving him multi-attack, which is pretty solid. Common can be more than just a saddle, especially if you're doing something mechanical in nature. Like it would be like, I don't know, about equivalent to your grappling hook level of complexity, I would say. Though your grappling hook might be uncommon because you have like extra stuff in. Yeah. But I mean, just like mechanically speaking, you could do something. Like whatever you want to do. You could certainly do a saddle that makes it harder for people to fall off.
Yeah,
or be dismounted.
Yeah, I have ideas for a rare potentially, but I'm not going to get to it this week. So
yeah, you need more than a week to finish off a rare, unfortunately. Okay.
And then just gotta decide on the ring, and then also do some aquam collecting.
Sure. All right. So with that, if you want to do the ring, go ahead and make me a tinker check for that as well.
If I'm helping, whatever.
You could make it with advantage.
And he also gets inspiration.
So add the bardic inspiration.
D12.
Watch it hits a 12 and he goes from an 18 to a 30.
Okay, 9. So that's what, 27?
27. And then are you getting Mitnir to breathe on them?
Ideally.
Said he can ask them.
You do
have
the
their
breath
breathe
numbers.
on this.
It's a breath per, right? So you may be able to have to breathe on one day and one the next. But he has only breathed so far on the stick this week, and I didn't see that roll.
I didn't roll yet.
Oh, okay. I heard a noise, but it was just 98.
Well, no, that's two different rolls. So 62 and 36. I just yeah.
I was like, damn.
No,
that's one good one.
No, it was a 62 and a 36. I just instead of rolling them separately.
Unfortunately, nothing fancy came from Mitnir's breathing on them. Just fogged them up a little bit.
Well, it was worth a try. Unless, can he add inspiration to his breath?
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't help with those numbers.
Fair enough.
If he wants, he can re-roll one of them with the inspiration.
I mean, I'll give it another chance to see if something happens. We'll see, just for fun. 53, still nothing. Or no, 35. Still nothing.
It was meant to be what they are.
Go back to
having
your
an
soldiers.
off week.
Spending all his energy with the new recruits. All right. Is that it for the rings, babe, or?
I mean, yeah. If as long as you know what they're doing enchantment-wise, I'll say you guys have time to finish them. But you're gonna have to. It's whatever Beelan is capable of making his way up to, assuming you have a basis in Arcana or a spell that would be useful enough to allow this to happen, and then materials that would be synergistic with what you're attempting to create. So if you want anything that has to do with the dream space, you would probably want to get something from the dream realm and use it in the rings. If you wanted to do...
So I was thinking of more of like a bonding, like warding bond is nice, but it's also like, okay, you get a bonus to AC and resistances, but then you share damage between each other.
So then, yeah.
But
it would
there's
be
a ring of
something that
amity.
represents you, something that represents him.
So we've got all the materials
shared
covered.
and enchanted together, and then split between the two rings. Would work that way.
But there's like a ring of amity where you can share hit points. If somebody gets healed, the other one also gets healed. Which I feel like that's maybe where Seti's brain would go, because she did see him poof very quickly in the last fight, and is worried about his lifespan.
His constitution.
So like sharing hit points.
You have to see. I will say Cleary has leveled up, and with that, he did get a really cool upgrade from his class that allows him to use shield for free.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, so maybe the plus one to AC
uses
and
spells to cast it. He can just do it whenever he has a reaction.
Okay. That doesn't help on like saving throws, but
no, but he gets +5 to AC every round if he wants it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so if we could share healing, I think that would satisfy Seti.
We'll have to work it out with Beelan, and Beelan's still the main crafter of this. So you'll have to just figure out what you guys might be able to accomplish. But he did roll well enough to make pretty much what he's going for you. So,
and like,
especially with you nagging him over your shoulder to inspire him.
Yeah, I'm playing music the whole time, just like. But I figure like if we need something like health potion to infuse it with, so that it's got like that, then they got us covered too. So.
Yeah, man, we don't need that. All kinds of stuff. Should be fine.
I have my own healing ability. I can blend in.
There you go.
Yeah, there's just going to be some runes thrown in there around the band and stuff. And
I'm familiar with healing magic, sort of.
So am I. I don't know. It's like we don't need potions for that.
Between the two of you, you should be able to figure something out.
Yeah,
I have an innate healing ability, so it's something.
Nice. Okay, so that should take care of both of your weeks. What's up?
I was gonna be. Can I also make it say like? We could just engrave it, I guess. But like,
just engrave it.
If he rubs it, just make it say, "You're so great. I love you so much."
So you want the affirmations as well? Once you get into dual enchantments, it does get significantly more difficult.
Okay, well,
but
no, it's better to be good at one thing. As long
as there's only one recorded message, you could have that. But I don't think it'll say a new thing every time.
No, just. Just.
So what do you want the ring to say? Just "you're so great"?
We just make him a Tickle Me Seti doll. Just pull the string and it says a different affirmation each time.
We'll add that to my line of products after I retire as an adventurer.
Yeah, I do have like a manufacturing factory back at the college.
Perfect. Yeah.
So you guys will have to get together and,
start,
make those rings.
D&D Mattel.
So that's entirely up to you how you want to do that. Actually, yeah. If you wanted to, did you want to roll for the second ring? Is that what you were saying?
No,
the Aquam.
Aquam collecting for the week.
Harvesting Aquam.
Oh, yeah. Roll 2d12.
$17.
That pretty much covers the mushroom cost or the potion cost.
Yeah, almost.
All right, and with that, I think we have pretty much taken care of everybody's week, unless, Graham, you wanted to try to do something with your remaining time with those mushrooms. Props, you just need to spend the gold, and I think I still need a roll from you for your mushrooms, unless I'm crazy.
A little unclear, or we couldn't remember exactly how much we had established the cost.
Yeah, we were talking. I think you might have lowered the cost. It says on the sheet. Like, it says 500, and the potion value is like 1,000, and I think you might have said that it should be like 250 because like 500.
I mean, it depends. There's a variable cost price to like what a potion is actually worth. If the book says what it's actually worth, then I mean, I guess you could more or less go by that. But like, if you were trying to buy a supreme healing potion, they can go anywhere from 1,200 to 2,000 gold apiece.
Mm.
Yeah.
Let me check this real quick. Control F, superior.
Yeah, because I remember us having a conversation where you were, I think, and I can't remember for sure, but I think I remember you saying something like, with the cost being that high, like, why would anybody make potions if it was so expensive to make potions?
No, it's more like you guys were saying the cost. I was increasing the cost to the cost that was there because initially what she was quoting for the price cost was like 50 gold or something.
So I was looking at the ingredient, and I think that's talking about single ingredient.
I'm just trying, yeah, because I know that like the thing says 500 for the recipe, like for a rare recipe, and I just couldn't remember if you had said that 500 was it, or if you had loaded to 50. It might be 500 because it might still be.
No, I'm keeping it at 500.
Okay, so then
I can make up to 5 if time allows.
Yeah, that would be 2,500 gold or 2,500 aquam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're still making bank. My point before was if they were so cheap to make, then everybody would just be like, "Fuck this! I'm going to learn how to do alchemy myself because this is."
Oh, it's the opposite point. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck many.
I remember that we had some conversation about that. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, but even with the fuck many hours, like you're saving 500 gold per potion.
Yeah. No, it's worth it for me.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I knew there was some conversation.
500 gold. Again, it was about 1,200. I think was like the usual price that I would have put for a supreme healing potion.
Yeah. I mean, since I'm not really doing anything else, Bropsy might want. I could just like assist Bropsy with the potions that she's making.
How much aqua am I taking off?
Oh, are we using that?
If you're using aquam, 2,500.
Yeah, we're in the cauldron. We'll use aquam. Fine.
Okay.
And I can assist. My assisting might be better if I was like the lead on that. Actually, since I mean, it doesn't matter.
This one is herbalism, so I think I have the higher herbalism.
My lowest I can roll on herbalism is a 15.
Because you're using these red amanita potions, you're actually saving 3 times 5, 15 times 5. So you're technically saving 75 aquam as well. So it adds 75 aquam back because you guys have the mushrooms already. You didn't have to buy those, so they were subtracted from the overall cost.
Okay. Yeah, my because of the thing I got, because of the ion stone, with my proficiency being +7 right now and my wisdom being 24.
What?
The lowest I can roll on herbalism is a 15.
Why did I bother learning potions? I'm useless now. Okay, go for it. I don't think you even need my help. I can go out and look for more shit.
No, I mean, but like we have advantage either way because we're working together.
You don't need me.
No, well, we need if we're working together, we have advantage. So like,
yeah, that's better.
We're batch cooking it.
It's potentially twice as good.
Go for it.
So, you know, And I rolled a nat 20 because we had advantage. So it's actually a 34. So there we go.
Get extra?
34 to make your healing potions?
To make our 5
Make 5 superior
healing potions.
Cool. What's crazy because you made 7 instead.
Boom.
Did you make any superior healing potions using the bioluminescent amanita mushrooms?
No, because we were going to do the batch cook, and I was going to do those separately if we had time, but I don't know if we had time if we're doing 5 of these. Because this is going to take...
Maybe you would have time for 1, I think. I think you would have time for 1 if you were still using the cauldron for it.
Yeah, because I was going to try, like, to do, like, 1... If I had time, I would have tried to do, like, 1 superior healing potion with it.
I would allow 1. Okay. I would allow 1.
I can try to do 1.
The DC on this, because you're using something different, is going to be high. Well, doesn't really matter.
It's a 29.
Yeah, 29. You still hit it. So with that, you're gonna get a put a potion of superior healing asterisk.
Potion of superior healing asterisk.
I did not have time to make this potion, but if you want to know what it does, rather than restore the amount of hit points that are there, it'll add temporary hit points up to half the hit points that are there. So whatever a superior healing potion is, it would be providing temporary hit points that go above your maximum at half the efficiency of restoring. So if it's like 8d4 plus 8 or something, it would be 44 plus 4 extra hit points, which is quite good.
So it's like a
temporary hit points
like
potion.
It's like kind of like a potion of heroism.
Yeah, it's like ward, basically.
Okay. I'll just. I don't know what to call that.
I think 8d4 plus 8 would be too many temporary hit points. So.
Yeah, so it's that sounds like, who should that even go to? Somebody who doesn't have a lot of hit points. I don't know who has the least hit points.
Cleary.
It might even be me. Yeah, Cleary probably.
Yeah, but
how many hit points does Cleary have?
At his current level, Cleary has 123 hit points.
Okay, so he's got less than me.
And he's level 18.
I only have 131.
You are 2 levels lower than him.
1 level lower than him.
You're level 17, okay.
Yeah.
It's those D6s, man. Those D6s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's just because I only have a 14 con.
And he rolled really high the whole way through too. Like there were a lot of 5s and 6s and 5s and 6s.
Yeah, they buffed
and
wizard hit points, and he still only got.
And he's still only got 123. Yeah, it's a tough. I mean, like his constitution's only 14 too. So. All right. So, with that, I think we've pretty much covered everybody's time.
Yeah.
So, with that thought in mind, and me having to take this break to do some finagling, we'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys, as we approach our final day in the cauldron, our final preparation before we head out to give the answer to Inveruna. And we are back. So, as you guys begin to wind down your final day in the cauldron would approach, I will say, Seti, because this is what you do before your last day, if there's any dream spelling you would like to do, now is the time.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that. I mean, I've got some ideas, but I don't think they're good ones, so I should probably not do them.
If they're just social encounters, we can just say they happen and you guys have a great talk. If there's something important, then...
Well, I want to find out And I guess I could talk to a lot of different people about this. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the dream spell, it could be a phone call. But I want to find out if Shar has any representatives on the council or in the Nexus.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I could ask my dad, I could ask anybody.
You could just make a phone call.
Yeah, let me call. Oh wait. Well, I could send a message. I couldn't call them. I don't think I have their. But there was like a person that was like the welcome wagon at the Nexus. Like the attendant.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those. I don't think you got his number.
No, I didn't get a number, but I'm just gonna send the one I met a message and be like, hello. Quick question. Does Shar have any reps or presence in the council in the Nexus?
Hello? I don't know who this is. I'm not allowed to give out that information to anybody without verifying their identity. However, I can safely say that Shar does not have any representatives in name at the Nexus whatsoever.
Okay, thank you. My name's Seti, by the way. We met. I'm the daughter of the Dreamweaver.
Sending another message for that?
Yeah, I've got spell slots to burn, whatever. I can just send bullshit all day, every day.
Okay, so you throw that, and then he goes, well, in that case, I will give you additional information. Shar, the goddess of darkness, has in no way, to the knowledge of the general public, associated with the council. However, she is a denizen of the Shadow Realm. In fact, she created it. So her representative would be...
Hang on, you got cut off. Her representative would be what?
Oh, sorry. The spells get very confusing for me. Not to belabor the point, but the person who it would be is... I'm just kidding.
I'll send as many messages as I need.
Oh God, what does she
7
go by?
plausible slot for a message? Sure, no problem.
What's her name? I forgot what she uses here. Let me just look up the council real quick.
Just by like the 5th one, I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at these things. I just keep losing count. Like...
Just say the name.
I'm scrolling down to the council so that I know I went to the wrong council. There is Selindor Council. Here we go. Yep. Not you. Here we go. She goes by the name Vera. Or Vara. That shouldn't have been hard.
With an A. 2 A's.
Vara.
Alright. Thank you.
Of course.
Well, now I have information, but I don't know what to do with it. I could try to find out how to message Vara. And just get straight to the point, like, hey, your lady has a prisoner I'd like released. What's that going to take? I feel like I'm saying this out loud to who, well, no, I won't say it because I don't want to say it in front of Cleary. But like, Cleary's busy working on his projects, so like, while we're having breakfast or something without him, or lunch or whatever. Or maybe it's just the Holly Font is there. I could message Saloon, but I feel like that's overstepping quite a lot more than I'm comfortable with. Not that I won't do it anyway, but...
You could just message Shar directly. You tried to.
Well, yeah,
You're not
I mean...
familiar with her, but, I mean, people pray to Shar all the time.
Right. the disembodied voice inside the mansion is totally right. I've thought about that
You
too.
could, although I guess that would be closer to the commune spell, huh?
Yeah, which I feel like is basically what you have me do when I try to find people in the dream space.
Yeah.
Thing is, I don't want to wander up to Shar and piss her off and then also get stuck in a hole right before we go meet Enveruna.
Very good point.
But I could offer some kind of service. Maybe there's something she wants.
She really likes to look at those engagement rings. I'm just kidding.
Maybe there's something I could do for her, something I could fetch. It's
Anyways,
like
that's all speculation.
Poppy and Hyacinth against each other. I'm doing it. Dream spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can find Shar.
You see if you can find Shar. Okay. Roll D100.
D100.
I'll be right back.
13?
Okay. With a 13, you know more or less how to navigate the dream realm at this point. You found the conditions for doing so are mostly intuitive, mostly based on instinct. I want to change the music.
Oh yeah, good call.
In this particular instance, you know you're looking for the god of darkness. So you head away from all the stars, even from those with negative light. You head straight into the black, as far as you can, as long as you can. You're searching desperately, seeking for some semblance of where this god might be. To the point where you think you don't remember how long you've been in this dream, how long you've been searching. But right when you're about to give up, a presence seems to envelop you. It's heavy, thick, as if you're at the bottom of a very deep body of water. Pressure from all directions, and you hear, "What do we have here?"
I think Seti immediately prostrates herself.
You are not one of my acolytes. What business do you have within my domain?
My lady. Well, it is a favor I ask, but not without payment.
You feel pressure and pain instantly.
It is rude not to introduce oneself for asking a favor.
My name is Setimera. My father is the Dreamweaver. I apologize if I have intruded.
There's a pulse within the darkness that sort of washes over you. You feel more pressure.
Oh. An interesting one has wandered in.
There is a prisoner you hold. A man named Valhadran. A fool. Who has been forgotten at the bottom of a weeblet for a very long time.
I am aware of this fool.
I have come to ask what may be done in exchange for his release. If there is anything
Make me
I
a
can
persuasion
do,
check with disadvantage.
which is just a straight roll for me, because
I'm back.
19. 33!
Well, here's a precious little trinket of mine. Although there is one deal I'd be quite interested in. A trade. You stay, and he can go. I've always wanted a part of a primordial.
Unfortunately, that is not a deal I can agree to at this moment. It would rather defeat the purpose of letting him out.
You seem to be under the impression that you have a choice.
You should make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Natural 20! 23.
Suddenly, you feel as though a hand of immeasurable size and force, tries to grip around you, as though it's going to tear you from the dream realm and rip you somewhere else. But as it does, you feel light spin around you, threads of magic that force against it, and she goes,
Touched by the Dreamweaver, indeed. Oh, your friend Valhadran will pay for your insolence in defying me.
I am happy to offer a service. There is anything
What
I can
service
do for
would a mortal give that would in any way placate me?
I cannot even begin to fathom what you might want or need. That is only for you to know. But if there is anything I could get for you, I am saying to name your price.
Name my price. I know not the capabilities that you have. Clearly you are well protected. That does not mean that you are capable.
If you set a task that is too great for me, then the worst that can happen is I die trying.
In what realms other than that of dreams do you have power?
I am quite capable in the material realm.
There is nothing for me there.
What about Selindor?
Selindor. Very well. How's this child? A piece of the moon for a piece of the moon. Bring me a fracture of Saloon and I will give you her toy.
I will see what I can do.
Very well. In the meantime, I think it's been a while since I visited our little mischief maker. Perhaps I shall remind him that he's in a prison and not a resort.
I don't think he has forgotten, my lady.
Pain is a good reminder, though. And she's gone.
I'll make sure Clary doesn't sleep tonight, or like, if he does, I'm there to like yoink him.
Giggity.
not that kind of yoink.
Alrighty. And with that, your last chance for a dream is used.
Yeah.
You awake on the final day. At this point, less than half an hour probably remains before you need to arrive with in Varuna and give them your answer.
So now's when we draw a card, right?
It would be a time
for
to
it.
draw a card. I don't know about
Yes.
the time, but a
Perfect
time to draw the
time.
card. A
As we're
card.
walking into
Yeah.
Enveruna, draw a card.
I mean, you could also just walk in toward the room and just go dodecahedron, just roll it straight in.
That would probably
I
break
think
the
that would
terms of
break
our...
the terms of the agreement. He's thinking about it. I think he's seriously thinking about drawing a card.
I know.
I think he's wanted to draw one for a while now.
I won't right now, but it is on my mind.
It was always on my mind.
And then my money on my mind. All right.
I mean, it is one of those where like we could easily die in the next like 6 hours. So any bucket list items you've got.
YOLO!
Just saying. As long as you draw one at a time and you'll keep the flower handy.
I guess Orin can't really say YOLO. He's died so many times.
I mean,
You only live the one time.
could happen?
And
YOLO, take
Your
fruit.
adopted mother literally lived, died, and then got wholly reanimated. Like,
Yeah.
You're Jesus.
oh my god, how do you bird Jesus? Beavis?
Bird Jesus.
Beavis?
Breezes.
Beebus.
Beepus.
Borbus.
So what? It's a
Okay.
roll for the cards, though, right? What would the roll be? I don't remember how
Isn't
many
it
cards
just-
we have.
Tell you.
But I
Minus
must
one.
also account for travel time, so
You have 42 cards in your deck. And I have
isn't
them color-coded between good, bad, and neutral.
It's 41 now, though, right? Because Grim already drew one.
You would still roll D100 regardless. And if you roll the same number, I would just have him reroll. If you roll above a 42, you just roll again.
can't you just roll on
If
Roll 20?
you could just roll on roll
could
20,
do
you could just roll a D42.
Yeah.
It's a good time for a Hail Mary, but you could also just die.
it could also undie you.
Would you guys?
I will
I
say
mean, if you
this.
die,
A card.
The wish spell has limits when dealing with the deck of many things. That has always been the case. In
Yes.
fact, in certain situations, such as the void card, it says specifically what a wish is capable of doing in that instance, such as locating the person that's vanished. But it's
and if
not
you
enough to bring them
die,
back.
if you die, you're going to go to the mansion. Well, are we already in the mansion? We're probably already in the mansion. If you die, you're just going to go to your mushroom.
Oh yeah,
We do have.
if you instantly die.
But then you'll be growing for
However,
the next 24 hours.
If your soul is trapped somewhere else, it will have a hard time transferring to.
Would we be upset if I
true.
drew a card? Should I draw a
We'll just have to
card?
take your mushroom to the
Your call.
the meeting.
Why not? Let's draw one card.
For the lulz, I like to think that like everyone's packed up and like we're getting ready to like head out the door. Mitnir's like, oh, I forgot something.
It just draws a card from the deck.
Yeah.
So you want me to roll a D100? Is that what you want me to do?
Somebody rolled something just now.
You guys had weeks to do this.
Who rolled something just now?
I haven't
Nobody.
touched anything.
Oh, somebody rolled a 35, and I don't know who.
Well,
Not
I
on
don't
my
see a
screen.
35 anywhere.
I mean, I rolled one earlier, but that maybe
Oh,
yours
never
just
mind.
updated or something.
It just popped up again. I was already looking at 35. I was like, oh, buddy.
So just roll a D100. That's what you want.
Or roll
We could-
20, or you could use roll 20 and just roll.
On roll 20,
a
you can just do
D42.
roll D42, like I did.
It makes it
Oh,
easier.
that's what was rolled
Where's
on
the
there.
custom die thing in there?
You just do /roll D22. You just type it in chat.
Where's
Or /roll
there we go.
D-
Slash roll D
42.
42.
Yep.
5. 5.
5.
What color is it? Midnight disappears.
Okay, Minir. You draw the card. At first, all you see is just the same familiar, what looks like stars on a sort of tarot card sized deck of cards. And then slowly you see an image begin to appear in the constellation. It becomes the shape of a flagon on a sign, usually denoting a tavern.
Ha! We're getting drinks later.
Getting drinks.
For a moment, you're staring at it, and then suddenly the flagon rises out of the card.
I'm getting a drink now? He like grabs it.
So yeah, you're sitting there, and there's this flagon sitting in front of you. Inside of it, it looks like silver.
Sniff, sniff. Chug.
All right, you chug it. Your charisma increases by 2 to a maximum of 22.
What?
That's going to
Shit,
work
man.
out great for his training of his troops. Even though we're leaving now.
Oh, man.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Did his scales just get shinier?
Nope, but now he's got a silver tongue.
Midnight is so pretty. This is going to help so much with our negotiations.
I mean,
How do you strike through, Dave? How do you do a strike through?
I don't know.
It's in the font settings.
but my persuasion.
If you
intimidation
right click
is now
and
a
go under
+8,
fonts to be in
so,
the
that's a thing.
font settings. If are you on the sheets?
I'm
I'm
on
not
Google
jealous.
Docs.
I'm catching
Oh,
up
if
to the
it's
bard for being
okay,
able
if it's
to be
Google
persuasive.
Docs, then it should be the same still.
Yeah, isn't there a drink one on there?
That's fine.
Like, if
I'll
you-
figure it out. I'll just.
If you write,
I won't lie. If that
No,
can
they
happen,
must have
I
it
wish it
hidden.
had been like con or like strength, one of the other stats. But that's
Mhm.
at least it's not a negative, right?
Yeah, that's
format, text, strike through.
Thank you. All right, there you go. That worked out for you.
And it's not a useless stat for me either. It wasn't
Anybody
his
else
intelligence.
before we go?
Mhm. No, I don't want to tempt fate more than I already have.
Yep, you got rid of another one of the green ones. The bad ones are just becoming more common.
I'm
Yeah,
not
now
gonna
that the
lie.
charisma one's
I'm
gone, I think I'm
tempted.
You guys are more than welcome. But
Have good luck in this game. I'm gonna get everyone killed.
Are you doing it?
No, I
Oh, okay.
want to, but I'm gonna get everyone killed, so I can't. I can't live with that guilt.
All right.
I don't think there's a card that kills everybody, though.
Not everybody. Mostly just kills yourself.
That I'm okay with. So
YOLO.
It's cool. It's not like they need their healer right before they go into a fight.
we have potions.
Did we hand those out?
We have a backup healer.
I didn't hear anybody say they did, but I think they would
I'd
be potentially in
assume
friend's
did.
possession.
I have those. I have my healing. What do you call it? My breathy balls.
All right. Well, anyways, I'll give you guys. These are your last chances to do whatever it is you want to do before it's time to go.
Yeah, we got the travel time. If we only got an hour, we got to be able to get there.
All right.
I'm rolling a d20, and if I get a 1, I'm drawing a card. I did
Did
not.
you get your bad luck out of the way?
Yes, that was the plan, and I didn't. Thus, I'm not
Then you
drawing.
got your good luck out of the way. So let's go. So with that, as you guys begin collecting the rest of your gear, you see Mitnir drinks something from a flagon that then vanishes into thin air. Seti, you notice that with your incredibly high perception. Oh, or did you not use that shield anymore? Maybe it's just Graham who notices it with his incredibly high perception.
My passive perception is 24.
Mine's 30, so.
Okay, yeah, it was you. With your 30, you don't
24
miss
is
him
still
drinking
pretty
from the
good.
flagon. I mean, 24 is still really good, but you don't. Like, I'm not saying you automatically notice Mitnir drinking a. You don't care what Mitnir does.
That's true. I don't.
But I don't think Seti would miss him drinking a flagon that then vanishes in thin air. With a 30. Not that you would either if you were looking even remotely interested in what he was doing. But yeah, that just happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
so are we ready to go? Is it...
As you guys begin collecting your materials, at this point, I think you've mostly kept the door to the mansion somewhere. I think you guys were operating out of the butthole.
We were on the boat.
Oh, you were just on the boat?
Yeah.
So I'll say that you guys are probably, because you were in preparation for today, a lot closer to the Temple of Vedava. So as you dock the boat, fold it back up, and begin heading towards, you see that in the past week, a tree, not much larger than a sapling, has started to grow in the very center courtyard of the Temple of Vedava. And as you approach, you notice a bunch of the different guards that stand around outside and the many people that are coming to visit are walking around it with a lot of curiosity and dumbfoundedness. You can see plastered across their faces as they look at it, and you notice that there is a spiraling sketch, or well, not sketch, a carving that goes down the tree. Again, it's not more than about 5-6 feet tall, with a little bit of stuff growing out of it, just pretty sprouts. But the people who walk around it notice the little bits of artistry engraved in this tree that is still growing. And as you all pass by, you recognize instantly the carvings of your friend Mitnir. Even
that
his
tree
most
stole your
recent
art.
carvings.
I planted the tree.
You planted that?
Well, I planted a stick. That's how planting works, right? Looks at the druids.
Your stick?
Yeah.
You planted your stick?
That's not how planting works, Mitnir.
I mean, it's growing.
Yes, that's not how it works, though.
Oh my god, are you a druid now?
You could graft it onto another tree, possibly, if it was the right kind of stick, but your stick should not grow out of the ground on its own like that. No.
Well, it's growing out of a rock, not the ground.
That's even worse.
So I'm part druid, part wizard, part barbarian.
Perhaps he's just inspecting the tree.
Yes.
Yeah, make me an investigation check.
I'm gonna make an Arcana check.
You're inspecting it.
I make a 24 Arcana check.
Okay, so looking at it through like the magical scope for what it is. 21 investigation. Yeah, you see all these different carvings. You see like the hand is the most recent one. On the opposite side, you see the tree of Inveruna. Seems to be carved into it. And you can see that as you look, you can see small bits of etching just slowly starting to shape in the wood as the next bit of information is being sculpted, all on its own.
Okay, now that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was when I planted it, I was like, it would be really nice if it could keep telling our stories, and just staying up, so that everyone could keep up to date.
What does it say?
That is
nothing.
wow.
It's pictures.
What do the pictures say?
I don't know if you've been keeping a list of everything that you added since I made the story stick for you, but it had all the stuff that was written in there.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't kept a real close thing, but I know generally what was in there.
Yeah, it's basically your whole story up until this point.
Yeah. Just kind of points and way near the top is see, there's the mountains. That's where we got tossed off
so
the
new
mountain.
ones are just what's happened now. They're not things that are going to happen, right?
Oh no, they are. It shows up to 1 week into the future.
Yeah, so when I've worked on it, it's it's an idea of kind of what's going to happen, but it's not always clear. The last one just points to the hand in the tree. It's we know what the tree is, but it's
so the hand is the council.
With that, you guys see this interesting tree that's beginning to carve the next sections, but they're still too vague to make out. It's a slower process than when Mitnir does it himself.
That reminds me. 1 minute here. Grim will just take a minute. Cast Foresight.
I thought you were gonna do that tree door spell on it.
And that just prepares your. That just does something affecting your rolls, right?
Well, it lets me see into the future for the next 8 hours.
How far into the future?
Into the immediate future.
So a couple.
That's what the spell. That's how the spell gives you advantage.
It gives you advantage. A couple.
You can see. You have a limited ability to see into the immediate future, so it gives you advantage on all of your attack rolls, ability checks, saving throws, and then all other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against you for the duration, and you can't be surprised.
Cool.
And that lasts 8 hours.
Fancy.
I figured, so long as I'm not in combat, why not have this as my level 9 that I use on the regular basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't
I don't
cost
think
anything.
I've been back to the temple since I got the new body.
Yeah.
Figure if we're gonna go talk to some people, may as well have a nice body.
You do get greeted by the many doctors and professors that you have spent some time with, including a certain turtle and a very interesting crab-like Formian that greet you and congratulate you on the successful transfer into your new body. I'm sure you guys have popped around though. They've seen you run the cauldron. You've been back for a month almost since you got the body switch going on. So actually, I think it was more than a month. So you've definitely swept by the cauldron or the temple, but since then, if for no other reason than just because that's one of the main hubs of activity. So they do send you guys off and say, best of luck to you all, and I hope that you do well out there. Huh? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to you guys your next visit. In the meantime, Theodore St. Chortle is all about making sure you guys have a good old time in your adventures. So here's a little gift from me. And you see that he hands you what appears to be a keg, a little small one.
Little mini keg?
Little mini keg, and he's just and this is just for your enjoyment now. Best not be doing that when you've got anything important to partake of, like a mission or anything of import. But when you've got time to relax, this one's on Theodore St. Chortle.
All right.
Mitnir will take that and just
All right.
Thank you.
They nod to you, and you guys rejoin the line, which actually parts for you and lets you pass straight down to the lower levels, past the puzzle wall that is now left completely open, past the many trap rooms, and down into the vortex that descends down below. If any of you guys remember watching the movie Road to El Dorado, it's Shiboba. So as you stand above and look down into the twisting torrent below, one by one, You fall off. Jump off. However you want to do a swan dive.
Take care of the
Stop.
tree.
Cliffy goes, oh boy, and cannonballs. And as you guys re-enter the waters and are ejected once again to a receiving area on the outside that is still being built, haven't made much progress in the day or two that you've been gone. But they're still working on a receiving area. As you exit and are jettisoned back out into the underwhelm. Somewhere between the statue of Vedova, as you now know her, and her representative city, Coralweave. In the distance above, far above, where you currently are, there is the school, where you have an appointment somewhere in the mechanical depths to meet up with in Varuna. So how would you like to do that?
Was there any teleportation circles around here?
The nearest teleportation circles, because they're working on a receiving area with teleportation now, but it's not ready yet. The nearest one that you could arrive at would be in the actual city of Coralweave. But yeah, if you're familiar with a teleportation circle, you could do teleport, but you do need a surface to draw on to create a teleportation circle.
Kind of
Is there one near?
I mean, I don't know if it's the teleport spell. It might be different. You might do that.
Teleport spell instantly transports you. It's just verbal.
Yeah, that one doesn't use teleportation circles.
Yeah, okay, but it does. You teleport to like a location.
You're familiar
basically.
with generally. Yeah.
If it's based on like how familiar you are with the target, so like you can teleport to a familiar circle, and that's like always guaranteed to work.
Yeah, which you're familiar with the circle within the tower of Selindor Academy. Yeah, so
there's
you could
also
certainly teleport there.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so as you all clasp hands together.
Are you casting that, or am I casting plane shift?
Plane shift
we're on
wouldn't
the
work.
same. Yeah,
you
we're
have
on the
to
same plane
transfer
as
to a
this.
different plane of existence, unless you cast it twice.
But does it have to be a different plane of existence?
I think so,
Yeah.
to use plane shift, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So I could have cast it from inside the...
You can go in the
I would have to
mansion
cast
and then it would
from
work.
inside.
If we were in the mansion, you could plane shift us to the cabin.
So if you've got
Instead,
teleport,
you'd have to use the spell to cast the mansion, and then you'd have to do that.
So you probably don't have to spend 250 gold pieces every time either, do you?
No, it's just a verbal component.
Okay. So I won't waste my level.
So in a big... you guys feel yourselves being twisted and shrunk and then expanded, and then suddenly you find yourself stepping out onto a glowing platform that just pulses for a moment, and you hear, "Oh, I wasn't expecting you. Hello, new arrivals," and you are all dripping wet. Just all over the place, water just pouring out onto the floor. A little bit that was sort of like surrounding you, just like a small like level, because it can't quite perfectly etch you out of the reality. So the small little sections of water just pour out on the floor, and there's like 2 or 3 gallons per person. Just
Sadie starts prestidigitating herself dry.
Yeah,
I think it would be awesome if there was just a 10 square foot cube of water came with us.
just fills the room and washes everybody away. No, it's not that bad, but you do create a large portion of water that just pours all over the floor and soaks a lot of the parchments for receiving individuals. He says,
Sorry about that.
Then he starts prestidigitating. They all start prestidigitating and
helping.
And using the repair spell to like fix things up, and there's just like a flurry of magic in the room.
Mass prestidigitate spell that was shown off, not that long ago.
Take a moment to learn to do magic, but sure, yes, crossing around the curriculum. But thank you for keeping us on our toes and stoking most of our work, young man.
Glad I could help.
Sorry.
What school do you belong to?
and starts taking notes.
Everybody dry.
Yeah, so
Blackstaff.
they take
We're all
down your
from
guys'.
Blackstaff.
You're all from Blackstaff. Says, I don't think so. I remember seeing you in the competitions. You're certainly not members of Blackstaff Academy. Where is this one staff? Look at him. He's clearly Silverwind.
Oh, you got
Which
us.
one?
So-
Yes. Yeah, we're from Silver.
They're pointing to Mitnir and they're saying he's clearly Silverwind Academy.
Clearly. Yes. Well,
All right.
we have a meeting.
Anyways, so as you guys they take your notes, it takes maybe like 5 minutes out of your time, but you get through the hubbub, I'll say, without issue, and are able to make your way down through the halls of Erudition to a small section that leads into the walls, the easiest access point, and begin climbing down. Is there anything you guys would like to do before you reach Invaruna's area?
I'm
Do we
assuming
remember
we're
where it
parting.
is?
Probably.
What?
If we don't remember
If
where
I'm
it is, I
maybe.
can actually use that thing on my shield that'll tell me where it is pretty easily that I never use.
Well, make me a survival check, Seti, since you're the only one who's actually been there.
No, I'm just gonna use the feature on my shield that I never use. I'm gonna activate my Sapphire Buckler and know where every aberration within 1 mile is.
Well, I got an 18, so.
I mean, there are several aberrations within this location. The Risen Mind of Ystrandi pulls very strong.
Well, that's true.
Um,
But I mean, like within the walls?
that's straight up from you right now. But within the walls, there is a pull, and between you and Seti's bit of information that she sort of remembered, you are able to steer pretty easily in that direction. So between the two of you, it's easy enough to navigate your way down. So you're parting ways with Cleary, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm assuming we're parting ways, and
Yes, I suppose I'll head to my room and make sure everything's in order.
I'll meet you there
Unless
later.
he wants to chill in this amulet during the meeting.
Oh, I think that's a
Um,
bad idea.
I
That
do
sounds
not
like a
want to be inside of an
Terrible,
amulet
terrible idea.
so much.
Well, he
Bit of a
can't hear for what's
claustrophobic.
going on.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't want
but
them
I
to
think
think that we're
sneaking
trying
somebody
to
into the
bring
meeting is
something.
probably a
Yeah,
bad idea.
Well,
I don't want to take any
I think
risks.
I think it's best if I stay in my room and then keep the doors locked. And
Stick your fingers in your ears and go la 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 just in
And-
case.
if you all have a need for the book, I'm able to retrieve it quickly.
Right. I'll send you a message as soon as I can.
Mwah.
I love you.
And I love you.
And I
And
love
he
you
begins
too.
hitting it.
Seti,
You're all
did
right,
you
Ben.
give him this ring?
Not yet.
Says, what?
Wait,
No.
Oren doesn't say that, does he?
Whispers it to you.
No, she just.
Perception check.
It's like to watch him scorn.
Well, best of luck to you all, and I am just a whisper away.
Thank you.
He heads up,
Orin,
and you head down.
whispers Cleary. Cleary. I don't think you heard me.
He didn't.
Okay.
All right,
Just going
so as you
down
guys
into the
begin
walls.
crawling your way down, you see many Modron moving between the different plates and mechanical arms that constantly change the contour of the halls of Erudition and below. And you continue crawling further and further down, small little catwalk sort of situation. There's some areas where you have to drop quickly to make any real progress, and you begin sliding down with your hands pressed against the wall at times, or those of you that have them use the Disc of Featherfall should you want to make things easy. And those that can fly do that as well as you make your way further down. Until eventually you arrive in an area where you would assume at this point you would be about the level of the workshops, if not the Verboten Reliquary itself, very near the base of the tower. At this point, you come across a broad door. Seems to be made out of heavy metal. It's the only actual humanoid-shaped door, like not actually shaped like a human, but shaped like a door a human would use, that you find within the walls of Selindor Academy. And as you, before you can even take the chance to knock, you see the area begin to slowly fill with darkness. Is there anything you would like to do?
Quickly, can I cast Comprehend Languages on myself?
Sure. So as you cast Comprehend Languages, not really with enough time to read any of the runes around the door, but as the darkness closes in around you, suddenly there's a... You can't even see each other for a moment. And then you can. And you see a couple of individuals sitting in front of you. One sitting in a large backed, like very tall back chair made out of black velvet. You see Pedo Talrain, one leg crossed over the other. And standing to his left, you see an individual that appears to be a very stout Goliath. His skin doesn't seem altogether solid. There's a bit of viscosity to it. Almost slightly translucent at times, but still retaining its sort of gray, notable color of a... my brain just lost it. I said what he was, Goliath. No tattoos at all. And he seems to be wearing a very well-fitted robe of Inveruna. And on Pedo Talrain's right side, wearing the robes of Inveruna, a skin color significantly paler than the last time you saw her, is Caldera. She looks at you all with recognition, but stoic and unchanging. She doesn't seem to react in any particular way. She looks at Orin, and it's almost like she looks through him. You can't tell if it's because she doesn't recognize him, which is might be the case. But she does look to all of you and sort of just looks around. See a little bit of light in her eyes. You can see... Seti, do you have your glasses on?
Ooh, probably.
Well, I shouldn't say anything. I shouldn't have said anything. But as you have your glasses on...
I'm usually wearing them when weird things are happening. So...
Okay, so as you put them on, when the blacks started going and cast Comprehend Languages, I'm sure that happened at the same time.
Yeah.
You look and you can see that there's a star right above her heart.
Well then, welcome, New Death.
Yes.
We are here on behalf of Inveruna. Our palaver begins.
It does.
He wraps his fingers on his chair and he leans back.
So, have you decided to give me my book?
Well, I hate to say that despite everything, we have not been able to reach a consensus among us.
And what about the fungus among us? What about you? Have you decided anything regarding your little piece of the universe?
Regarding your grandmother?
That is a very odd way to think of it, but sure.
I mean, what else would you call her?
There are many ways to think of it. I assume that is one. But the transience of matter is different than birth and parents.
I know. It's just, Grimm has seen the beginning of everything.
I'm sure
Which
your
is-
mind was capable of comprehending some of it, even.
It was pretty crazy. Yeah, I saw her give birth to Azathoth. That was interesting. And then he tried to eat her, that was a thing. And then my
Indeed.
brain tried to explode watching all of that. So that was crazy.
That will happen when your mind is not capable of grasping what is in front of it.
Yeah, no, it's that's a thing. No, Grim is Grim has given up any hope of obviously of putting her back together because, she's the gestures around to
It's the
everything.
sort of thing I would consider ill-advised.
Well, like, yeah, exactly. It's not really possible, is it, right? We don't
No.
kind of have to put all of us
Well,
together.
I wouldn't say
It'd
it's
be
impossible, but it
it's like,
is
it would be
very unlikely.
another version of what Norfolk wants to do in a way. But,
In many ways, it is quite similar, and I would say one might be a necessary step in the accomplishment of the other.
yes. Especially since he's using her to do what he's trying to do.
As it is, have you decided anything in the time that you've had? You have not come to a consensus, but have you decided whether or not you wish to work with us, work against us, give us anything that we've requested, or are you here to wage war?
The one thing we know for sure is that we're not here to wage war, I think.
Mitnir shifted the last word. He's just like,
I don't think any of us wants war.
No, of course not. I've only
Don't
two
think
with me. We are far outnumbered. It wouldn't even be a fair fight.
we're
None
not
of us
we're
are
not
buying that.
we're not that stupid. Jarl. Well, I'm not saying man, that would be silly, but we
What we have
we know
decided.
how powerful you are. That doesn't you don't need more than just one of you, do you? Even here. But I don't think we want to pick a fight, do we?
We do not want to pick a fight. We would like to avoid fighting.
I mean,
But neither are we here to join you. I think we have all
You hear
agreed
a very
that
audible grunt from the Goliath.
we have our fingers in a lot of pots, and we think we can better serve the cause elsewhere. At the moment. That may change as we learn more.
So, after the time you've taken, the week I gave you, and the significantly increased amount of time that you bought yourself with your little dalliance, don't pretend that you didn't know I knew. All you could
No,
come
we're
up
not.
with was that you wish to remain neutral.
More or
And
less.
what
That
about
is...
my request for the book and the piece of the Star Mother? Are these things that you wish to leave neutral?
Well, we were hoping to negotiate that part.
I
The Star
see.
Mother is Grim's to do with as he wishes. It is a part of his body, and it is his decision.
Of course,
whether
there's
or
a
not to
reason
give
I
it up.
addressed him specifically in regards to a request that I had a friend make.
yes, we will. Depends on what is necessary, right? To achieve the aims of
Well, I
nobody
think you all
killing
know
anybody.
what I want. I very much would have enjoyed you joining our little group. You've been useful in more ways than one. And of course, it would have saved us a lot of time to receive this book and this piece. But if you wish to keep them away from us, well, I think we've come to the question of, what are you doing here? What do you want from me if these things aren't off the table?
We were hoping to come to some kind of new arrangement. I can't speak for what Grim wants, but as for the book, we recognize its power. We acknowledge what you want to do with it. Some of us have our own ideas about what it could be used for, and are not eager to part with it. It was hard won.
You're talking around many things, but I have yet to hear a suggestion on what you would consider a fair exchange. What is it you want, little new death group? What do you hope for, as your name truly suggests?
Well, we hope to part in such a way that we are not all immediately trying to kill each other afterwards.
Oh, so you're to bother your safety. Well, that's something I'm certain I'd be willing to agree upon, should you leave me the book.
Would you be willing to accept one or the other? The Star Mother or the book, but not both?
Well, that is entirely between me and this individual here. You're all entirely a different situation. Should he wish to barter on behalf of all of you, that could be its own thing, but if you as a group are bartering for all of your protection, certainly we might be able to find an amicable arrangement. Firstly, I do not wish our information to be shared beyond the confines of this room any more than it already has. So that would have to remain as is, with the allowance that I'm sure you'll be able to give some sort of vague report and keep your higher-ups happy. But the finer points of our plan must be kept completely to our own, as otherwise we'd be considered you acting against us by stirring those that would, in turn, go against us. I see you wouldn't have any problem with that, otherwise you would have come here for war, not palaver.
We acknowledge that we are carrying information that could be very dangerous in other hands, so we are more than willing to accept a deal in which we are protected afterwards, and your secrets are safe with us.
I have a question, actually, because, as you know, other people have their own plans, and we're not party to them anyway, because, everybody likes to be hush-hush. And you would know this better than anybody, because you being you. What would happen, do you think, not that this has happened before, if someone were to kill one of you?
Well, my first statement in regards to that is good luck.
Yes, that aside, yes. But say they were to kill one of you that governed fate or time.
Say, for instance, one of my many masters were to be felled. Well, of course, the energies that they have purview over would persist for a time. Chaos might ensue, Certain stars within the universe might implode, creating black holes which devour systems, crystal spheres, whatever you might call them. Billions probably would die, but not trillions. Certain aspects in certain realms that are protected by the gods would not be swept away into the abyss. But those without divine protection, those simple worlds ignorant to everything that turns and churns around them, gone in a flash.
So, in other words, certain individuals who see things on the grand scale would likely be willing to make such a sacrifice.
Oh, certainly. I imagine they would be fool enough to sacrifice billions, if it meant saving the only ones that they use as batteries. As I assume you mean.
This is what Grimm thought. Good to know. But it would not end everything immediately.
Oh, certainly not.
But even
I would say
billions
the collapse of certain aspects of the far realm, the infinite echo, the last void, would create turmoil, but not absolute destruction, but the absence of just one.
This is
the absence of all.
This is the danger of a divine perspective. Let's see.
And that is why your plan is to replace them, not kill them. Yes?
My masters are idiots. At some time, many millennia ago, there was a will to each of them, at least a bit. But these outer gods, they had adversaries of their own, struck them dumb, and trapped where they are. I wish to give them will again, but in a will under control. People that have trained, people like you, good people. Like Caldera here. Imagine what good she could do. No more innocents burned in the hot flames of magma, the core of the worlds. Instead, think of all that volcanic love could bring. Soil becomes more verdant, capable of supporting life. Her purview over such things. And he gently sort of strokes her hair that's sort of flaring down towards him. Could be significantly more useful. And he's looking straight at Orin with a gleam in his eye, knowing that this must irk him.
Can I mean, I think it's obvious that he's trying to get a rise out of Orin, but as he's talking about good people and all the good that could be done, can I get a sense of whether he truly believes that?
Or make an insight check.
I would also make an insight check, now that I'm good at it.
Oh no, 12.
32.
Okay.
Seti, he seems to be more or less above board. Grim? He's hard to read. However, with a 32, you get the slightest inkling, maybe, and this is pretty obvious to you as a player, that he might be a little bit manipulative with the way he's addressing the events that are within his plan.
What do you gain from such a thing? What do I gain? What difference does it make?
I have for millennia served masters who have given me no orders, that have had spastic fits and simple whims that I must accommodate. It is my curse to serve them unconditionally, and of course my also pleasure. And yet, at times I find it irksome. A simple whim of a child throwing a tantrum could send me off to any given world for millennia, just trying to appease them. Perhaps after all this time I just want to work towards something better, something more concrete, like Kieran's imagination of the world. A world without pain, without suffering, aided by all these others. These intelligent beings with the power over time and space, in its many facets. Imagine what you could do.
Gestures to Grim.
With the ability to stop pointless death.
Yes. Perhaps. I will say, though, that, and I don't know, maybe this is just me, but Kieran's world sounds quite boring. And for someone who, I don't know, you seem to be someone who has a very keen interest in people. I mean, would you really enjoy that? You seem to have a good read on mortals. Would you enjoy it becoming so whitewashed?
If left to their own devices, most mortals will destroy their worlds with enough time. Their seeming will towards self-gratification and gain, their selfishness, constantly leads them down this path to self-destruction. So many a world gone in the flash, like a powder keg just waiting for a spark. I want to remove this false spark just a bit. And Kieran is a good soul, looking for peace between mortals. I think that before he falls asleep, assuming we can find a suitable penumbra, I think he couldn't do too much damage. But he would make enough, his initial thoughts and goals as we've trained him, to get rid of just that little bit of selfishness. That little bit that makes humans so determined to ruin themselves. Well,
let me get that part straight. You are hoping to find a good enough penumbra that Kieran will fall asleep only slightly into his imagining of the new world. Not the full vision.
I think if he was given enough time, poor boy, the madness of all that power would probably drive him to going too far. Almost certainly he would eradicate all of human beings' free will. He would make them oh so boring. We can't have that. But with just the right amount of precision that you, for instance, could provide, well, I think we might just be onto something.
No, your words are a bit honeyed.
Well,
I am a
live for a
barber and
long
good at
time,
honeying
and
words.
you learn that a sweet tongue is much more reliable than a stick.
Yes, but it can't entirely be trusted. At least the stick is direct.
All I can do is speak my truth. And if you do not choose to believe me, there is not that I can do.
I think asking someone to be able to put Kieran to sleep fast enough that he doesn't completely destroy humanity or mortality is a very big ask. That is an insane gamble, honestly, because if the true number fails, then you wind up with a world that is not the one you hoped for. Is that not a problem?
No. Well, within my power over these individuals, I've created fail-safes, as I've mentioned to you before. I believe these fail-safes would be enough, and if not, could not a creature such as you, just a minion, be strong enough to slay him down before he becomes too much of a problem? I mean, especially with that grand sword of yours, even cutting down a god shouldn't be that hard. You certainly headed towards godhood yourself, and I think with a little bit of prodding, we might be able to get you there, or somewhere even more elevated.
Just kind of like he doesn't really say anything. Just kind of like nostril flare. Just kind of like I don't like this guy. Like response body language.
Not to mention, the world which he will create will get rid of all sadness. Of course, the only way to truly do that would be to merge a few planes that are beyond our reach. Bring back the dead, those that we've lost.
He's looking at Propsy.
All together again.
I think this is where we have a sticking point. Because when we say we want to save the universe from Northot, while we acknowledge it is not an ideal place, it is not a perfect place, it is not a fair and just place, it is the world in which we live, and the world in which we live is what makes us who we are. Any change to humanity, mortality, conscience, morality, free will, any change is too much. It is not that world that we are trying to save. It is ours.
So am I to presume that you choose to stand against us, then?
We are hoping that Northot can be defeated without the measures that you seek to engage.
So we are at an impasse.
But we agree we all want Northot dead, yes? And as long as there are multiple avenues working toward that, there are better chances of getting it done.
That's true. Well, I suppose there are always different avenues.
There are different camps in relation to your plan, I think. Neither of those are ones that we really have any power over in the long run. I mean, we could be candidates, if we were to go with you, I guess. But at the end of the day, you have gods who think that they might be able to kill other gods, which they may or may not. Who knows, right? And then you have your plan and whatever. But that's between you two groups to work out. Our part is, well, it's our part. We could fulfill our roles as champions for now. and see where that gets us. And then, if we decide that that path leads nowhere, we reevaluate.
So you are suggesting that I let you go from here? Let you join the council? Let you find out all of their plans, and then, once you have more information, revisit whether or not their side or ours is the one you wish to pursue an allegiance to?
More information certainly can't hurt.
Well, that is fair enough, and I'm inclined to allow you, but what do I care? Of course, I would love your aid, but you aiding the opposition does not necessarily cause any true hindrance to me. But we come right back down to the two items in your possession that I am desirous of. So, I give you my guarantee that none of you would be harmed. And you give me what? Your promise that you won't spread my secrets and the book? The Star Mother? Both?
How about we will not spread your secrets? Obviously, Grim cannot speak for everybody. We would have to all agree on this. We agree not to spread your secrets. Grim gives you the Star Mother. Invaruna cannot harm us. We will not harm Invaruna. And then we will do what we will with the council and become champion and see where that leads us. And then if we decide to change our minds and give you the book at a later date, then that'll be what we do. We may or may not do that, but saying we will.
He looks over to Caldera and then looks back over to the other individual you have not met. They sort of look at him.
I think that that's an agreeable means to move forward.
I believe that we would need to be able to tell the council something, though. We'd have to give them something in order to ingratiate us
You
into
can give them this information. That Invaruna is working in their own way to stop Northont. That plan is dangerous, and we can't get into the details. But we don't think that it's in full concert with the councils. However, it is not so dangerous that the council needs worry. I believe that's accurate enough.
when you aren't actively working against the council. You aren't
No,
actively
we don't plan on
threatening them.
killing any members of the council or anything like that. We simply pursue our means of saving the universe, and they pursue theirs, and whoever arrives at an appropriate answer first, well, all the better.
If
This is an option. The book stays with us. I mean, Grim can give the Star Mother.
I mean, I
everyone is safe.
Certainly don't expect you to give it to me. And I will try to take it.
I would ask that this deal encompass the member of our group that is not here, that was not present to make the pact in the first place. Cleary Asimov.
It is very inconvenient not to be able to speak with him because every time he has to leave the room, it's a pain in the ass.
He is one of us.
I could say that that could be allowed. I would say that since he is not here, it could take a moment for the magic to arrive on him, of course.
And will the members in the Inveruna also be able to make such an agreement? The ones that aren't here?
I could pass this on to them. Again, in the same way as your friend. Upon reaching them, you may get them to extend to them.
Of course, everyone's going to see these bracelets and wonder if we're creating a new fashion statement around the school, but...
Yes.
Just for instance.
All you need to do is shake their hand. Give them the information and they must agree to it, and the pact will pass. I will do the same with mine. I will even promise that if any of them reject my offer and decide not to go along with this, that if they break our covenant, I will pay their price for them.
Just to be clear, what happens if something happens to you? What happens to the universe?
Oh, I don't know exactly. I imagine that the elder gods would lose some amount of their exertion upon the planes, as it were.
We know that you are their
Uncertain.
soul, but you're not like soul itself, are you?
Oh, I wouldn't claim such a grandiose title.
Because if
Perhaps
we all
everyone
lost
would
our
lose
souls, that would
just
be...
a little something, but not enough to leave you all soulless.
Okay, well, let's just hope that doesn't happen.
Well,
maybe just like
if these
sacrifice
terms
Albdusks
are
instead.
agreeable, then I believe our palaver is done. Go, shake your friend's hand. Join him, and I will find mine, and our covenant will persist in peace.
Do you want this Star Mother now or later?
Is that agreeable to all of us?
Is it yet? Does everyone here agree?
Do you all agree to this? He's waiting for you all to agree.
Mitnir will nod unhappily.
Very well. And you watch as he gestures, and the Star Mother just comes straight out of your chest.
Goodbye, Team Force.
Wanders over towards him, and as he closes his hands around it, his fingers seem incredibly long. His eyes flash green for a moment.
Very good. Well, with that, best of luck to you.
And to you, I suppose.
And the darkness is gone. You find yourself standing once again in the mechanical workings of the tower, but the door to Inveruna is gone. And Seti, you notice, and a bit of an ache hits as your heart sinks in your chest, and you notice that your shadow is back.
Ooh. Ruin. What have I lost? What have I lost? I'll immediately try to send a message to Cleary and let him know that we're safe. The deal's done. We need to talk. I'm on my way.
Don't come. And that's where we're going to end our session.
No! Oh boy.
Thanks
think
so
you
much,
pissed her
guys,
off.
for hanging out. Remember, we love you, and we did it for the world.
Did it for the